Great. Thank you, Emily. I'm delighted to be here. Is that going to work? Yes. I'm all that stands between you and what I think will be an interesting conversation, so I'm going to try to be brief. And also, we're in the transparency business for others, so we try to practice it ourselves. ProPublica was founded in 2007. We started publishing in mid-2008. We publish investigative journalism in the public interest, what Paul Steiger, our founder, called stories with moral force. Our mission, just completing, everybody should put up their mission statement, is to spur change through journalistic means. We're quite specific about it. That is what we mean by impact, and we chart it publicly 3 times a year. We put out an annual report early in January, a report on the first third of the year early in May, and we're at work on that now, and a report on the second third of the year early in September. I would say, signature or certainly an excellent example of what we mean by spurring change through journalistic means from last year would have been some reporting we did in partnership with NPR on workers' comp and the fairly systematic effort to gut it across the country, and specifically a movement that began in Oklahoma and in this state to allow large companies to opt out of the statewide workers' comp system and create their own systems that were said to be equivalent. I think we conclusively demonstrated that they were not equivalent, and I'm happy to be able to report that Oklahoma subsequently decided that its system, which had been in place for some years, was unconstitutional, and that a movement that was beginning to spread around the country to extend this seems to have stopped in its tracks. It was specifically defeated in Tennessee, and the workers' comp trade press, which I never thought I would read religiously and now do, reports that it seems to be pretty much over as a trend, at least for the moment. I think it is safe to say that we have pioneered a publishing model of nonprofit journalism that offers its leading long-form narratives exclusive to leading publishing partners. We've had 131 publishing partners since our inception, including, I am very proud to say, all of the other journalism organizations on this panel. We had 36 partners last year and 19 so far this year. We have 45 people in our newsroom, including 26 reporters, 8 people working on news applications full-time, 3 on social media and engagement, 3 on design. We are building a publishing platform to maximize the chances of impact tomorrow at the same time as we're trying to achieve it today. Where we stand on that at the moment, we're now averaging about 2.3 million page views a month, a little bit more than 900,000 uniques. We also operate under Creative Commons in almost all cases, which accounts for, at this point, about another 300,000 page views a month. And then there are, of course, traffic to the stories that we give to partners or produce in partnership with them on their sites. And we do not, unfortunately, have great data on that. And then we have on social media at this point a little bit more than 420,000 followers on Twitter and a bit more than 130,000 fans on Facebook. We have a $13 million budget this year that is funded almost entirely by philanthropy, although we take advertising and sell data, and even, as Bill noted, film rights when we can, and are happy when publishing partners help defray our costs, as some do. The vast bulk of the money needs to come from donors and does. We started with almost all of our funding from our founding funders, the Sandler Foundation, and Herb Sandler remains the chairman of our board. But the Sandlers provided less than 24% of our funding last year, and we will hope that they will provide about 15% of our funding next year. Overall, we have 3,400 plus donors last year, already more than 800 so far this year. Not all of that comes in large chunks. Online giving and checks in the mail, that is to say, gifts we have not individually solicited, came to almost $500,000 last year, and those numbers are significantly up, I'm happy to say, on a year-over-year basis so far this year, although admittedly, small dollar giving tends to be very heavily loaded at the back of the year. Among major gifts, that is to say, five-figure gifts, about 30% come in the form of program support and 70% in the form of general support, which of course all grant recipients prefer. About 25% of it comes from institutional foundations and about 75% of it from high net worth individuals and family foundations. We are happy to take targeted support for beats, and we do. We do not take funding targeted at specific stories. We've been very fortunate so far with respect to peer recognition. We won the first Pulitzer ever awarded to an online news organization in 2010, the first Pulitzer ever for material that had not been published in print in 2011, 3 Polk Awards, the most recent jointly received with our friends at the Marshall Project, 2 Emmys last year, a Peabody, 3 ONA Awards for General Excellence, and a MacArthur Foundation Award for Creative and Effective Leadership. I have enormous respect for the colleagues who have gone before me, and I am very much looking forward to the conversation that we can begin now.